Have you ever wanted to make a difference in the world to directly impact somebody's life in a positive way? Bystander intervention is about people taking small actions to help those around them. For the last 12 years, I've served in the Air Force, and we've had many different programs from sexual assault prevention, suicide awareness, domestic violence, and the overlying concept between all of these different programs is bystander intervention, having somebody take action to prevent these situations from occurring. And what I'd like to share with you is what what bystander intervention means, how you can actually take action, and why this actually matters. So the program I'm most familiar with that the Air Force was taught is the Green Dot program. It was originally adopted in a university for sexual assault and to prevent sexual assaults from happening on that campus. When the Air Force adopted it in 2016, it had a positive success, and so they decided to adapt that program to include not only sexual assault, but also suicide awareness, domestic violence, workplace violence. And in 2017, the Secretary of the Air Force Public Affairs released an article talking about the successes that this program had. They noticed that certain bases that were adopting this process were seeing reduced number of sexual assaults in their dorms, that the number of suicides on the base were going down, and the Green Dot concept functions around a very simple the Green Dot program functions on a very simple concept. You take a map of an area, whether it's your neighborhood, your town, your college campus, or your base, and you put dots on the map for any event that occurs. So red dots would represent suicides, sexual assaults, domestic violences, or any other workplace violences. And green dots happen when people successfully intervene in those situations and prevent bad things from occurring. Now, the biggest hurdle for the Green Dot program and other programs similar to it isn't identifying these cases. It's actually something much simpler. It's called the bystander effect. And the bystander effect revolves around the simple concept that people don't take responsibility, they don't act for any number of reasons when a situation occurs. They may feel embarrassed if these people happen to know each other and they're just joking around. They might feel intimidated because the guy acting aggressive at a bar is a lot bigger than them. They may not just want to deal with it. They may think it's not my personal responsibility. It's not happening to me. I'm just going to, mind my own business. Latane and Darley did a study back in 1968, and they noticed that a chain of events had to occur before a person would intervene in any type of situation. First, they needed to notice that an event was occurring. Secondly, they had to decide that the event was an emergency and that they absolutely needed to intervene. And then third, they had to decide that this was their personal responsibility to act so that they would intervene in the situation. At any point during those three steps, a person can remove themselves from the situation and then fail to act. Now that we've gone over what bystander intervention in the Green Dot program is, I'd like to talk to you about the different ways that you can actually intervene. The first type of intervention is called direct intervention. Direct intervention is something simple as asking a person that's talking about giving their stuff away if they're okay. It's asking or telling someone that the sexual joke that they just made around their group of friends isn't okay and you don't find it funny. It's separating the people that are having a physical altercation at a bar. It's anything that you can think of that directly impacts the people and separates and diffuses the situation. The next type of actions you can take are indirect. Indirect actions are something as innocuous as spilling a drink on an aggressor that's trying to pick up a girl at the bar. You can tell your friend and delegate the responsibility of taking action. You can tell the cops or somebody else in a position of power. Or you could just pull the fire alarm and evacuate the building. All of these are indirect types of actions that you can take to intervene in a situation. So now that you know the ways you could possibly intervene when these situation occurs, I'd like to talk to you about why this is important. Most violence occurs between people that know each other. This could be your friend group, this could be your family members, it could be your coworkers. Likewise, most people that commit suicide show warning signs beforehand. Maybe they give their stuff away, they talk about death a lot and make jokes about killing themselves. By being aware of these types of signs and situations, we can directly take action or indirectly take action and intervene and save these people's lives, directly impacting your life because maybe your friend or family member kills themselves, and that's not a situation that you want to be in attending their funeral. The other thing to note is that bystander intervention directly impacts our culture and our society as a whole. When more people step forward and take responsibility for what's going on around them, they can shift the way that people look at situations and encourage other people to take action. In the Wartime Diaries by Simone de Beauvoir, she wrote that most people involved most people in Europe when the Holocaust was happening were bystanders to the situation without will to morality. And I think this is a very powerful quote because bystander intervention is about doing the right thing at the correct moment. It's about preventing the wrong things from happening and trying to make a positive impact on people's lives and stepping forward even when it's not the easiest thing that you could be doing. So we've gone over what bystander intervention is, how you can take action, and why it's important. So I'd like to leave you with one last thought. When people speak out against events, they are directly letting those around them know what they find acceptable and unacceptable. And when more people speak out about the things they find unacceptable, we can cause a direct shift in society's perception and change our culture. Thank you.